every day.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I said. She's the
That's
trencher,
what-
baby.
that's
Let's
what
get
we're
Oh,
gonna
he
do.
knows. Adam knows. How
I
have I
know.
known you first, and he knew that, and you did not?
Damn. All right. Well, we are live. So
Cute.
cool. Yeah. So if you could just go to Adam's profile and repost
Oh, is it on
the
there
one.
now?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the live stream just so people can see. We get all the kind of interesting scragglers coming around and hanging out.
Okay,
And
let me join you.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know
Last-
Ragzy's a soul trencher because I've seen her on TikTok. I'm on TikTok quite a bit just for like my
Oh,
kid, and I do stuff. I used to be
You're just browsing around TikTok all day.
I used to be heavy into TikTok. And I know Ragzy's
Oh
on
my
TikTok.
God, there I am. Okay, wait, so I'm retweeting from Adam's page.
Yeah, just from
Or you can
Adam's
retweet
page.
that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at myself.
Don't
Wow.
ever look at yourself. That's the never. You never are supposed to look at yourself.
I got you.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
got you.
So Adam, you're a TikToker, you say?
Well, I mean, I've told you before, but Ragsy doesn't know. But yeah, I tried to start a business around TikTok in like 2020 during like COVID and stuff. And yeah, I was heavy into TikTok. Had a couple channels, blew up my kid's TikTok. He's back now doing he graduated high school this last week. So now he's a full-time YouTuber and TikToker. So yeah. So I like TikTok. TikTok is it's the best algo.
So Ragzy, I was telling Adam earlier about a little bit about your background. Well, actually, Ragzy and I met at NFT NYC 2023, I think. Was it 2023? I was leaving.
I think so.
I was leaving the hotel to go to Taproot Wizards. I think this was their first ever party. And I come out of the hotel room and there's this lady there sitting in a wizard's outfit. And so I say, "What's good, Mutant Prism? What's good?" So I go to her and I say, "I'm assuming you're going to the Taproot Wizards party, huh?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Do you want to ride together?" She was like, "Yeah." So I actually hopped in her Uber, and then we rode down Taproot Wizards party and hung out like pretty much the whole party. It was a lot of fun.
And little did he know, plot twist, I was a serial killer and was lying. What's the matter with you, Jake? You don't
never get in a fucking car with a stranger.
Especially if I had a battle axe too. That's why I won. I had a freaking Viking axe, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get in the car with you. No problem."
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. And then Ragzy came to Vegas like a year later, and I think it was for an XRP event, wasn't it? That's when you were putting some art on XRP.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that.
Wait, you were doing ordinals on XRP? I didn't know they had ordinals on XRP. What's it?
No, not good, Sarah. Ordinals is just Bitcoin. I did some artwork on the Ledger. When the Ledger launched, they were looking for artists to put their NFT. Actually, it's NFT with a video game, and the game slaps. It's very addictive. You should play. It's called Space Mermaids. It's like very retro. The game slaps. I still play. I was playing it today.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like you want. It's like playing like one of those old retro games, like kind of like Super Mario but shorter, like Minecraft, or like the little planes, and you just move the mouse and you have to dodge the things and stuff like that.
How did that end up going? Did you end up minting out?
Yeah, well, I did. I decided because the Ledger wasn't really known for NFTs, so I decided to do a contest, and then people who, if they scored really high in the game, they got a free mermaid. So I decided instead of so they minted out, but I decided to have fun with it and make it more like a giveaway for people who were just enthusiastic about the game. Just because that chain was brand new and wasn't particularly known for NFTs. And it had for the Ledger, it had like a great response. Because the community for the Ledger is a lot smaller than obviously like Ethereum, so it had a really good response. I love my game, very great quality. I still, like I said, I played it today. Yeah, dude, that was seems like forever ago. But yeah, I forgot the time I met you, the Taproot Wizards party. I love Taproot Wizards. I was just were you at the party in Vegas? I was just at their party in Vegas.
I did
I
not.
didn't go
There were so many events that I had to go to. I think on Wednesday, I don't know what day it was, but I remember on Wednesday, I think I was at like 6 events in one night. I didn't get home till like 4 in the morning.
Do you
It
want to see
was
what I got?
yeah. What'd you
I'm
get?
gonna go
Yeah,
get it.
what you
Put
get?
it
I'm
on.
gonna go get it.
What did I didn't know they were giving out gifts. Was Udi giving out gifts over there? Maybe I would
Well,
have made an
last
appearance.
last Taproot Wizard party, they jumped into a pool. I think that was at one of the Europe or Asia events. I don't know what they did in Vegas.
Now, when you showed up, like for the one in NYC, did they like give you an outfit like when you got there?
What's
Yeah, there we go.
up? Yo, we got the disco. We got the
What to
disco.
say on there?
It's badass. Taproot Wizards
Taproot Wizards
Vegas.
Vegas
Vegas.
25.
It's like
Nice.
Disney quality. Look, I got my disco cape. I
Bro,
might
that's
have.
quality
Let's see
swag.
the
Udi's
image
doing
like
it
this.
right, man.
Yeah, Ragzy
Yeah, I
goes
love
all
it.
out. I love it.
love it.
I love it. So
Wait,
Ragzy,
Wait. Did you create that, or that was like given to you at the
No,
party?
they gave it to me.
Yeah, it's nice. Dude.
Yeah,
That's
that's
some
what I'm like.
quality
Look what
stuff.
I got. Yeah,
the true wizards.
the true
So
wizard.
so Ragzy, I was telling Adam earlier today because we had a morning show that your background actually has to do with Legos. Can you explain to him your story about Legos?
I was playing with them. Yeah. Well, it's like so weird being like known, I guess, in like different industries because I never know how to like say what I do. So like in real life, I guess, in non-crypto land, I am a fine artist and I make like crazy creations out of Lego blocks. So I end up becoming very popular in the arts world, and specifically with murals. I do these huge, like massive Lego murals, right? And I also do TikTok. I've gone super viral on TikTok. I think I have like over 100 million, over 200 million views, something like crazy like that on my page. And like crypto is all about like blocks, like the blockchain. So it was just such a, I don't know, it's kind of, maybe I just like blocks. That's why I find all these things. So I got into crypto in 2017 because of NFTs. And yeah, so I started putting like my art on chain last fall, and I was just like buying them in 2017. I didn't make any, which I highly regret. To this day, I didn't see, because they weren't selling for like crazy amounts back then, so it didn't seem like there was an urgency, like, oh, you have time, like one day maybe you do it. And so yeah, so I do like crazy art installations for like big tech and AI companies. And then that kind of like crossover with crypto, right? And I just like love crypto. So I do a lot in the crypto space, not just like NFTs and art, but I trade, I look into altcoins, I trade meme coins every day, right? So I do all kinds of anything quirky and creative. I like and gravitate.
Wait, so Jake said you were on like a Lego Wars show or something like that. Tell me about that.
Lego
Oh
Masters.
yeah, Lego Masters.
Lego Masters, dude.
Okay, now my ex audience is gonna know. I don't think they know. I've been LARPing this whole time. If you're in the live, well,
We
we
didn't know
probably
you were
have-
Lego famous. This is
We got
like you're famous in
300
two industries. This is
All right,
crazy.
the 300 people got this.
300
So
people so
mean.
far.
Some of my fans, they probably don't know. I've been LARPing the whole time. I'm
So
unfamous meme
how did
coin
that
trader.
how did that season go? And then we're gonna get into meme coins because I'm definitely interested in hearing, and also first hearing your thesis on meme coins and how you trade, but also sharing with you our AI tool that kind of helps with meme coins.
Cute. Yeah, I was on Lego Masters. I don't want to spoil it, but I did. Let's just say I did pretty well. Yeah, no, I was on Lego Masters. It was okay. So I didn't realize I was gonna get famous or anything. I was just like doing my Lego art, and then I started getting very popular, like in the gallery art scene. Like started going viral, getting popular, and I think that's how the show found me. So they were like, called me. They're like, we want you to be on the show, and I was like, what? I didn't even know there was a show or anything. I was like, what? Like, huh? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, there's a show with Legos on. Like, I didn't even know what they were talking about. And like I ended up doing it, right? And I didn't realize this was like a major show. Like, and by the way, it was filmed in 2019, right before the pandemic. So we filmed the show, and then it's like once filming was done, it aired during the pandemic, so everyone and their mother watched this show. So I became like instantly famous overnight. Everyone is in the world is watching the show. The show got, because everything was shut down during COVID, they leased the show out to different countries too. So it wasn't just the United States. It did well in the United States. And they leased it to like Italy and England. And I'm having like people on Twitter commenting on the show as if it's just happening. Like months after it aired in the US, like from Italy and England. I'm like, I didn't even know. I'm like, where are all these people coming from? And then I realized, like, so it kind of was like, it was, it was fun. I got to show my creativity, but I had no idea like the visibility it was going to get. Like, I didn't like realize like how big it was. And in fact, like for agreed to do it, I asked my gallerist, I'm like, should I even do this show? And he was like, well, what network is it going to be on? And I'm like, Fox. He's like, it's going to be on Fox. Like, I was like, yeah, like, is that a big deal or something? Like, I didn't know. It just went over my head. So it was something like that by like chance fell into my lap. And then I like did it. And then it went, like the show like went crazy viral, like because it was being aired. There's nothing to watch during the pandemic, so people were like, everyone was watching the show. So I didn't realize like how big it was going to get. And so I definitely got like visibility from that. But what's crazy, there's no crossover. So like my TikTok audience doesn't know about the show. They just think I'm famous from TikTok. The show people don't know about crypto. The crypto people, they just found out. If they're in here, don't know about it. There's no crossover.
Well, they found out and they don't care. They're
so
like, what's the
hide.
CA? Yeah.
So the 300 people in here get the tea. But so I could hide in crypto because I'm like, no, people, there's like, sometimes there was like, sometimes people were like, I saw you on that show. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, I saw you on this show. I'm like, okay, oh, that's cool. Just don't tell anybody. like, so I don't know. It's weird too, because when people approach me, I don't know what they know me from. It's either like, I don't know if they know me from crypto. I don't know if they know me from TikTok. I don't know if they know me from the show or the art world. Like, it's really weird when people approach me because I never know how to like introduce myself. But yeah, it was super fun. Like I said, people probably should go watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to still ruin it for you. Will Arnett was on it. Very funny guy. But yeah, it was quite an experience. But I will tell you, I never went back to television. I got so many. I could have actually been very few people know this, so we'll give the alpha here. I could have been very famous because after that show, I was getting offers left and right to do, from documentaries to like all this stuff. I can't remember because it was a couple of years ago, but like I got so many offers. And honestly, doing like television film is so stressful and so hard. I actually didn't want to do it anymore. And I had turned down like a number of films, and I wouldn't say I want to go back, but at the time it was just like too much. And I was like trying to handle blowing up from just like that one thing, that I just needed a break, and I really wanted to focus on my art. So I never went back. But to this day, I still get offers. Like somebody actually reached out to me a couple weeks ago to film something. So it's something that I say I would never do again, but it's very hard. I think people don't realize like how hard it is to be on like in TV, film, and that kind of arts industry. It's extremely hard and difficult and draining. And so during the pandemic, while this show was airing and stuff, obviously that's when crypto started getting super hot, right? At the end of 2020. So I pivoted and just started doing all crypto stuff from 2020 to 2021 till today.
Wait, so if Lego reached out today and Lego was like, we want you to be our lead designer, would you be in? Would you be down for that?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you don't like? Wait,
why would I work
thought this was like the dream of all Lego people would be like hired by Lego.
No, I don't do sets. I do like I do massive. why would I take a job? I do massive installations for the largest multi-billion-dollar companies, the biggest companies in the world. Why would I? It would be like that. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's like going in the opposite. Absolutely not. So no offense, but no.
That's awesome.
So I asked Agent Hustle, right? You said that all of your communities are segmented, right? And so Agent Hustle is our AI tool, which we're gonna play around with here because
Okay,
we're gonna dive into the trenches. So Agent Hustle is what's considered a DeFi AI tool, but he has access to the internet. So I said, look up Ragzy on the internet and tell me everything you know about her. And so Agent Hustle says that Ragzy's a Solana focused YouTube creator. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Not really.
Maybe. He might. Looks like he pulled up Ragnar. So that's somebody else. Let's see.
The wrong.
You got the wrong Ragzy.
You got to put her. You got to put her X handle probably in there.
Let's say wrong person.
Bro, if he doesn't,
just say put Ragzy in crypto. Put that
crypto.
Who is Ragzy in crypto?
Let's see. Let's see if he could pull you up. Last show, he pulled up Troy. Pretty spot on. It was actually kind of crazy. He pulled up all his like projects that he worked with Bored Apes and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. But tell me a little bit about, I know you. Obviously, I've known you for a few years now. I see most of your posts related to Brett, to be honest, which is on base. But it sounds like, oh, there you go, Ragzy, NFT and Lego artists. Okay. And he's not listening. So he says, I apologize for the confusion. He says that Ragzy's a multifaceted artist who established herself in both the physical Lego art and digital NFT space. Lego artwork, you have your website, Ragzy Art, which shows your sculptures. Maybe we'll go to your website in a second. Even pulling out your copyrights there, not affiliated with the Lego group. He says that you created something called Knowledge, which is your Genesis NFT for a series called Foil Story in Maker's Place. Was this your first ever NFT project?
This was a very special one-of-one piece I did that's on Maker's Place. And there's two. There's Knowledge and Technosexual. They go together. They're very cool. They're very cool.
So he says this piece is a rotting apple wrapped in aluminum foil and impaled with computer hardware. Your artwork explores themes of technological preservation and digital renaissance, and the aluminum foil symbolizes both preservation attempts and crypto market volatility. And he goes on to say that you have advocacy work encouraging women to participate in the cryptocurrency and NFT space. You advocate for greater accessibility in digital art creation and represents an intersection between traditional physical art and the cutting edge of digital NFTs. Does that sound right?
Like I love it.
So a little bit of just kind of to show you what we're going to do here, because we're going to dive into meme coins.
Okay.
So on the left-hand side, just to kind of give people a tutorial, this is agenthustle.ai. Let me zoom out a little bit so the screen's not as scrunched. So here we built him in a way to where you can, on the left-hand side, you could do swaps on Solana. This is all Solana. You have DeFi for these LP pools. You have launch pads for Pump Fund and Launch Labs. And you can actually launch tokens with AI as well. He has an alpha tool, so he can look across various markets across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. He can set limit orders. He can look at different types of tokens that are on Solana. And we have this tool called the conditional trading tool, which allows you to do things like, which we're probably going to explore today, which allows you to basically, he can find tokens and buy them and then set stop losses and take profits all in one single prompt, one single thing, which I think is really attractive to meme coin traders. So my question to you is, when you're trading on Solana, as you mentioned earlier, what is generally your strategy and what type of things are you looking for? What tools do you use?
Should I switch hats? Do you want to put on my degenerate hat now?
Yes.
Here, it's time.
We're switching personalities. the
It's
entire-
time.
Oh,
There we go.
shit.
The trencher hat.
The
They
trencher,
don't know about me. You
the
see?
trencher's
They
hat.
don't-
We're gonna learn.
I'm smart. They don't know about me. I can go in any industry. Here we go. We're going into the trenches now. I know you want this hat.
I like it. I'm a beanie. Out here in Vegas, it's 110 degrees right now, so not beanie weather per se right now, but I love rocking a beanie. I do more than hats.
Okay, so what was the question?
Tell us.
Ask Meme Coin Ragzy now.
Yeah,
No more
now we got the meme coin rags on.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier in the show that you trade meme coins every day. What type of tools do you use? And generally, like, what type of setups do you look for to consider like a solid meme coin trade?
Yeah, so I trade every day, mostly on Solana. Like sometimes I'll do other chains as well if I think it's going to be like hot for the day or the week. And I actually made I get asked this so much, I actually made a course on it and told everybody what I did because everyone's like, people gatekeep. I'm like, here's what I did. If you want to go do it, do it. You know what I mean? With everything in there, because I do so much shit. To be honest, I want there to be like one easy answer. No. Like to be good, because Jake, it's funny, like you didn't know this before we started streaming about, and Adam knew, like I've called a lot of like 100x in big runners like this cycle. I've called many 100x's, many 50x's. Everyone wants to know, like, how do you find it? It's honestly a process. It's not easy. But I will say, like, I'm not sponsored or promoted by them, but I have used the Photon bot, and they have like the meme scope on there, and I think it's a fan favorite. Like, it's very popular. A lot of people use Photon bot because you see when it gets congested, when a token is going to be hot and other people have done their research and see it's going to be hot, it's not bundled or whatever, everyone's trying to rush in the token. It's very hard to get it at like the exact price because there's so many transactions. So it's like you can't really get it at that price, or you risk losing a percent if you don't use a bot. So, in the trenches, honestly, I think it's better to use a bot. If it's like a long-term play, you could use like the Jupiter swap and stuff, sure. But one of the big things is using Photon bot, and then you have all the decks there and everything. It's kind of all in one place. So that's personally what I've been using. But I know people use other tools and things, and they like what they like. That just happens to be working for me, and it's very like organized. So that's just my preference. But I'm always open to like hearing about other stuff too.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do today is I want to know what type of metrics you look for a meme coin setup, and this time we're gonna use AI to find meme coins using your strategy, and we're gonna see how well it performs. So I'm curious. So when you're looking for meme coins, what type of market cap are you looking around? Like, what type of holder base are you looking for, or are you looking at momentum or different type of themes of tokens? What generally is like the thing that you are looking for?
Momentum, and actually it's not numerical, it's the theme.
Themes.
So it's
Okay.
something theme. Yeah, the theme. So you can't really, I think that's why I'm better than a lot of people. They're like, how's she so good? Because it's not about, it could be about volume and what's the theme, because which they call in the trenches the meta, the meta of the day, the meta of the week, because that's what's going to be hot. So I've gotten stuff super early. It's because I was looking for the theme. I wasn't looking for at the volume or the wallets or anything. And I think this stuff's great, but maybe I'll be super crazy good if I use that stuff. But I'm looking for the theme. Like,
interesting. So like, do you see any themes popping like this week or even today that you think are like, oh, that could be interesting?
Cats are hot this week.
Cats?
Yeah, because of the Aura cat sended. So then all the other cats, there's cat stuff this week.
Let's see if Agent Hustle can pick this up. So I'm gonna have him go 72 hours back.
Okay.
And I said, look through the pump fund trenches today. Tell us what's hot. Token needs to be launched in the last 72 hours. Categorize them by.
Well, let's look for the theme of cats.
Okay.
That,
Hold on.
that's
I want to see if he could pull up cats. Give
I do
us
too, because
the
that's
top.
not a numerical thing.
Yeah,
So
give
let's
us
see
the
if they
top
can.
5 social trends and themes of new tokens of recently. So Adam and I actually did this on stream before.
Okay.
And he was able to socially categorize things. The category when we did this a few months ago was like the ification, I think,
oh
when
yeah, yeah.
giblification was like really
Ghibli is
popular.
popping. Yeah.
Are you
Ghibli.
gonna catch a runner right here? Is
Yeah.
it gonna catch it? All right.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use AI to catch a runner. And so
I
then
think this is yeah, like this is cool. Like you can, and the thing that Hustle's really actually really good at is kind of like, so if you're interested in like a cat meta, you can just say, hey, find me the cat, tokens that are the most interesting right now, and he'll just be able to pull for more than you'd be able to see like on your on your photon screener kind of thing. It just
Can he do it within? Here's a gold brick for you. Can he do it within the past hour?
yeah, he can.
Like in the
So
past 60 minutes, what are the top trending cat meme?
I'm interested to see what he comes up with here. Yeah.
yeah,
I am too.
yeah, so he's thinking right now. So once he puts this out, then we'll dive in and we'll go back to the minute theme trenches. So basically, how it's interesting. So I'll kind of explain to you and anyone who's watching kind of how AI agents work in crypto. So AI, we use a few different ones under the hood. You build these things for them called like toolkits, and the tools could be anything from like a Jupyter swap tool to an API that's related to a different type of service like a Nansen or a or like a CoinGecko or a Birdeye or something like that. And so then when you say, hey, tell me what the social theme is or the meta or like Lunar Crush, which we use for social kind of things, he will then kind of look through these like 9 different toolkits and he'll go on to explain different types of things that he's realizing. So right here, the 5 that he recommends or the 5 that he says, he said, based on my analysis of newly created tokens in the pump fund trenches over the last 72 hours, the 5 clear social trends that I see right now is AI and machine learning. So he says BitMind is leading, and then a subnet on BitTensor. It says political and news-based memes. So Trump lunch is one that's been popular. XRP ETF, Frank Templeton. Religious and cultural references, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, and the base dog, the based culture, the opposite of cringe, and infrastructure and protocol claims. So grid protocol. So I'm gonna ask him: Has there been any cat themed meme coins or trends that, or has there been any cat themed meme coins that have launched? Would we want to do in the last hour? In the
last 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
And what are their CAs?
Yep. If so, give us the CA. Give us the contract address.
One thing I would say, Rags, is like if you try this later offline or whatever, I think it's really cool because we've been stunned a few times where it's like, oh, that's stupid, or that one doesn't make sense. And then sure enough, like it hits and you're like, that didn't make any sense to me at the time.
What was one of your big
runners? Oh, one of the crazy, and this was like when this was like almost 2 months ago. He pulled one from that was related to like the Solana founder. The Solana founder did like a YouTube video or something and mentioned something that was a token or whatever. We're like, that's stupid. There were literally like 7 holders when he found it. It ran to like 20 something million dollars. That was crazy.
And he found it at what market cap?
Oh, it was like $10,000. It was like just launched.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we see a 7 of 5.
Yeah, so the one he says, this one called Meowtivate just launched 3 minutes ago. And then this is the contract address. here on Bird Eye. So just launched. So it was called Meowtivate. So that was the newest one that had launched. And then these ones, I think, oh, so these are, so give me, let me
I'm
see.
gonna check. What is
You're
the
still showing
contract
the
for?
bird eye thing.
Give me
Is
the
it-
last 5 cat coins to launch.
What
So
I-
I'm gonna
Let me activate.
Meowtivate. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to him real quick.
It looks
And I
like
said,
it's dead or.
it's dead, yeah. So we could get fun here. So generally what a lot of our users do, I think the highest win so far that a user has found or our user has done is 111x, I think is the highest I've seen so far. We'll
bad.
get in here. So he's really good at finding momentum, and he can read charts to momentum based off charts, not TA, but price action. So we can, when we find some coins, we could go in and tell him, you know, hey, give me, I want to find a cat themed coin that has momentum, that has over 1,000 holders, and the chart has pumped and it's consolidating on momentum move upwards. And he'll literally put these charts kind of right in front of you, which is,
Do it now.
all right.
Pick-
We'll do
Let's
it here.
do it.
Ragzy's got her trading platform up. She's ready to go, man.
I am.
She's ready,
I'm
bro.
gonna check your bot. It's Ragzy versus bot right now.
Let's go. So this was to the last question. So I said, give me the last 5 cat coins that launched. So he gave us the Nuke Cat that had launched 40. This has 47 trades. Meowtivate, that's the one that he showed us, or that we just looked at. Cobra Cat, Duplicat, and Alu Akbark, which was one that we also looked at. So he said the cat theme meme coin trend appears to be gaining momentum with multiple launches. Allahu Akbark is performing particularly well, while Nuke Cat is the most recently launched. So we could dive out of this one. So this is kind of like a basic thing that we do. So we'll kind of reset and say,
To make sure it's like a brand new launch.
yeah, brand. Okay, so
you're trying to find brand new, like
I'm
what would be the
I'm
ideal- is it-
ultra.
do you want
ultra
pre-bonded or like 100K market cap? Give us a market cap.
15.
15K?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it gets a little bit past that like immediate pump and dump or immediate launch and dump. So get past that is the way you're looking at it, Ragzy?
Yeah, I usually get things around 15.
Of tokens that are a $15,000 market cap or lower.
No, higher, right? Higher.
Or
You don't
no,
want
or lower, right? Isn't that what you
No,
want?
lower, because no lower is going to be like those 5K ones that are, you know.
Yeah,
basically what we want.
yeah.
Okay.
If it's at 5K, it's cooked. It's dead.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so
It's not coming
15K or higher. What's the max you want on it? 15K
Max like 30.
to
If
what?
it's a Ragzy buy, it's got to be
Yeah.
under. It's got to be pre-bond.
Pre-bonded? 15.
Oh yeah, I'm
so
a killer.
15K to
Or I paid.
we'll say 50.
Bro, 25K is too late. You know
to
the deal,
50K
man.
that
Yeah,
is
Ragzy is degenerate. It's got to
Pre-bonded.
be
Dude, if it's
under
at 30,
pre-bond,
it's
or
like,
I'm not buying
I
it.
missed it.
this
If
token.
but my Discord knows if I buy something after it bonds, it means that I really think it's good, or it's gonna go up, or it's clean, or it's gonna go up. Because I rarely buy things after they bond. Just because I though, to be clearly honest, I only like very, very, very high risk, like the max risk you can do. That's what I'm buying.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that. They want to say, oh, it's consolidating and the chart looks good. That's great. And you should do that if that's you. I don't do that. I'm looking for the highest risk, most likely to rug pull plays, because that's where you find the big senders. And a lot of people, they just don't like that, right? Because they don't want to get rug pulled, but I get rug pulled all the time. It's a trade-off, so I like things super early.
So I told him, I said, find us 5 token recommendations of tokens that are 15K to 50K pre-bonded. The token needs to have mimetic potential and has momentum from traders, holders, and price action is trending up. And we want max risk and max opportunity.
Max opportunity. I like
Yeah, that's what we are.
Max rug potential, man.
Max rug potential. Yeah. And then the cool thing here is whenever we do find a token, we're going to use our conditional trading system where he'll buy it and he'll set a stop loss and a take profit automatically. So we call it away from keyboard trading, where right now we have it listed to price. So you can have him set it at a price. Soon you'll be able to do it at market cap as well. So you could say, hey, buy this token and then sell it when it reaches like a $2 million market cap automatically. And then it's hands off and you don't actually have to do anything, which is pretty cool. But he's looking through right now. You could kind of see on the left-hand side, it says Hustle's Thinking. So he's looking through this kind of category, and we're going to find some stuff with Ragzy today.
We're going to find stuff with the Ragmeister.
The Ragmeister. So how do you operate your Discord? Is it purely a like meme coin signal
Damn,
Discord?
they're savage. They're destroying shit right now. Sorry, what was your question? It's freaking crazy. I'm putting shit on my watch list and the shit's going crazy now.
I said, how do you manage your Discord? Is it just purely meme coin signals, or what exactly happens in there?
I literally like mine is like super different than anybody else's. So like that's why I like being super clear with people. So you'll have groups that they're doing whatever. My Discord's different in the fact that I am actually physically looking for the tokens. And then if I buy it, I let them know that I bought it. Or if it's something I'm watching, which I call a watch list, I let them know, hey, like, so because they might find a new token, or they might find other ideas from it. So if I'm just watching stuff, I'll just tell them like, yo, I'm watching this. That way they can look it up. They can make their own decision.
Yep.
They can see if the chart's about to nuke or not. So it's different than calling something, because so what I do is I provide probably, I'd say, mostly watch lists, because then people can go look for themselves and decide if they want to take the risk or not, right? But if something I think is so good, I feel like I'm gonna miss it. Some things I'll buy right away, and then I just let my Discord know I buy it. So they're essentially like, they're not necessarily copy trading me, because I encourage like people to make their own decisions, but they can watch what I'm watching essentially. And then it might spark like the next thing. Like maybe I'm watching something at Rugs, but then there's like a new one and that one sends, and somebody ends up finding that as a result because I gave them the information of what I found, right? So that's how I operate my Discord, and it works really well. I mean, I don't know why other people don't do that. I have like a really good community.
How does this chart look?
Yeah.
So he found 5 charts. So let me scroll down to the bottom again. So there's 5. The 5 tokens is media. He said this is a $42,000 market cap. Strong narrative is the #1 weapon, which taps into current discussions about war and media manipulation. Okay. This is the chart. That's the 15-minute chart. So it looks pretty good. Oh, now it's shot up a lot higher. Maybe it's people watching, right? So the next one's called generational wealth. The cool thing here is, so you can actually market buy. You can put like whatever amount that you want.
Wait, go back to the last one that had the little candle on it.
This one
were you just looking at?
Media. So this is media. This is the first.
Decent.
There you go. That's Ragzy buying it right now.
Well, you missed the call. Now you gotta check. You gotta see if it got bundles on it, all this shit.
Yeah, right? so we can
ask it if it has bundles. Ask if that media one has bundles on it.
All right. Does media token, or tell us about holder? Tell us about holders.
The thing is, when you create the actual prompt, and he has a memory, so you can actually save the prompt, right? So you can save the prompt, and you can ask within the prompt this sort of thing. Like, I want to make sure it's not. So don't even show me ones that are bundled, right? So don't even show me ones that have, for example, a dev with over 5%. Whatever you want to do, you can set those up as like preconditions, if you will, for like a standard one-time prompt that he then remembers. Then you call it your whatever, my X prompt, and hey, do this, and he can you can save the prompt, and he could just search it again and again, right? and you can craft these kind of like unique prompts for him.
Yeah, these charts are
Interesting.
looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So this is how you get the edge. So you can set up. So all of these are between 15 and 50K market cap.
Okay.
And
That chart looks whack. I don't know
that
what
one is
was.
whack. So
The
he said,
first one you pulled was cute though.
so media, he says 258 unique wallet addresses. 5 holders control 41% of the supply.
That's nothing. They're gonna dump the fuck out
They're
of
gonna
that.
So never mind. So the top holder, he said, is the liquidity pool address,
Oh, okay.
likely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the second, third, fourth, and fifth have 3%.
It's not bad. It's average.
Not bad.
It's
It
not
says,
good, but it's not bad.
so the token creator holds 0% of the supply, indicating they've either distributed their tokens or only maintained the initial liquidity. RugCheck identified one small insider network of 4 accounts holding 5% of the supply, and no significant sniper wallet concentration was detected. And then it goes in to show kind of the transactions, 57% buys versus 42% sales, almost 200K in trading volume. And the overall growth is 616. He says that media demonstrates a higher holder distribution. So maybe we'll buy this for fun. So I'm going to tell him, give me a trading setup. Actually, we'll say this, buy media 0.1 SOL and set a take profit at 500% higher than where we purchased, and set a stop loss at 50% lower than where we purchased. So this is what we call AFK trading. So he's going to now buy the token, and then he's going to set a take profit at the area that we bought it. So let me go and find this chart. So this is where the token is. So he'll buy the token somewhere probably around here. And then he will, so somewhere around 51 or 30K market cap. And so if I set it 500% higher, then he will sell it at a $300,000 market cap or whatever. It's probably people watching the stream dumping. But, you know, just for the sake of this, because I want to kind of show how this works and how this is a little bit more catered towards people who, I wouldn't say, or the people who don't sit at the computer as much, I guess, or maybe want to set a take profit at some area and then kind of just go to bed in time. So it is pretty cool to see, and we will do that. But yeah, I'm curious on, you know, what, like, is this a chart that you typically buy? So if you come up across something like this, it's sitting at 50K. Are you typically a buyer of something like this? Or if we've looked through all of the, you know, the holder base, what else are you generally looking at?
You have to see if it's bundled.
If it's bundled, yeah. So he said there was one bundle from my understanding.
Okay, so I would wait. So if it depends how big the bundle is. So it's like, people need to understand, like, pretty much everything's bundled on Solana now. So you have to, I would wait to see how much it implodes from the bundle. Because if you're going to get rugged on or dumped on, there's literally no point in buying it. So that's why I'll put in my Discord. That's why I'll put a lot of things on a watch list. My Discord knows that. They know about bundles, right? So they can watch the chart to see if the bundles sell off. Because if it's going, and the bundles haven't sold off, they're probably going to sell them off, and the chart's probably going to dump very hard. So you'd want to wait. If you still like the chart, you'd want to wait. You know, depending on this is just a scenario, you'd want to wait till after that happens. You're not trying to buy the local top and then have the bundles dump and then, you know, wait. It's like fast trading now on Solana. I personally call it turbo trading. So I'm looking at how big are these bundles? Have they sold them yet? Because I give you one freebie. If it survives the bundle sell off, it's probably going to go up. Like,
Yeah.
meaning if something was super bundled and they killed it to death and they sold all these bundles and the shit's still alive, that means there's still demand for it, even with the bundles. So you know it's going to go up to some extent because the bundles are out.
How do you get in though at 15K if you're not like without risking being bundled on and dumped on? How do
You
you?
do risk it all the time. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
my style is like not for everybody. And I feel like crypto Twitter is very different. The language and the way they talk about this stuff is just very different than the way I talk about it. So that's why I'm just trying to be transparent with the people watching, with you. I get rug pulled all the time. That's, to me, that's part of the game. So
Totally.
like on Twitter, you get a lot of people they're upset. I got rug pulled. Then honestly, they
Shouldn't be
shouldn't be
buying
trading
meme coins, bro. Then there's
you
no
shouldn't
way.
be trading memes on
Yeah.
Solana. They all rug pull. Like almost
Yeah.
every, like only 0.001% of meme coins on Solana don't rug pull. You know what I mean? There's so many being deployed. So it's like I get rug pulled all the time. So that's the risk I'm willing to take. I'm willing to lose $20, $50, $100 for the risk that of being early. That's the cost of being early, is you could be wrong. And you can lose a lot of money that way. So like, people just need to be aware of, like, not everyone has to be a killer like me. You could get something at a mill that you think's really good and has potential. Sure. Like, if you want to do that, go for it. I like the super high risk plays. So that's my niche. And that's what I really like to do on Solana. I have all my serious meme coin plays on ETH and base, right? But on Solana, I like to go for the riskiest part of the neighborhood. If so you buy it early with the risk, knowing it's probably bundled, knowing at some point it's going to dump. And that's just how I play. But not everybody likes it. That's how I do it. I don't know. You will
So
get dumped on. So the answer is yeah, you'll get rug pulled. You'll lose your money. You know what I mean?
For
So
sure.
in the background, I used a hustle system. So if the chart does
Yeah.
go up, it's going to sell automatically at about a $300,000 market cap, and it'll automatically sell the position to Sol if the price goes down another 50%. So you either take a 50% loss or you take a 6x gain or 500 or 5x gain.
Yeah.
So this is it's catered a little bit more towards the people who aren't, I guess, as fast as clicking buttons, but also still kind of want to participate. But what do you think of just the search feature for that type of thing? Do you think, like, have you ever used AI to navigate the trenches? Do you think it's something that you're interested in, or you kind of?
I'm interested in it. Yeah, I think like maybe after we get off, maybe I'll test it out a little bit and see how I like it. Play around with it. But no, it's not something I've used. Like I said, that's the secret, and I don't mind sharing the secret because not everybody's good at it. Is you have to kind of know what theme's going to be hot. That's actually how I caught Brett super early. I knew I knew it was going to be hot. It's very clear as day. This is the hottest meme.
Right. The
On
Pepe
It's
meta
going to be
was
the hottest meme
coming.
on
Yeah.
Base. It was like the most obvious thing to buy at the time. So I aped it the second I saw it because I'm like, this is very clear a winner, So like, if the meta that day is Elon was fighting with Trump the other day, we won't get into what was said because that's not a good idea. That's probably a bad example. So as that's going, I'm on meme scope. I'm looking for stuff that has to do with Elon and Trump fighting because that's what people are going to be looking for and that's what they're going to be buying. So I play the themes because you got to go where attention goes, money flows, whatever the name is. So I just go with the themes. And then I look at all that stuff is more secondary to me, I'd say, because if you're trying to catch something early, if you take even 60 seconds to do research, you could be late in 60 seconds. So you have to, what I have is like, if you could teach your AI model this, it'd be a killer. You should call it Ragzy bot. You have to be, you should.
The Ragzy strategy.
I'll make a Ragzy bot. You have to identify it and know it's a runner off the bat.
Yeah.
You kind of have to have an eye for it. So it's like very hard to I would say to duplicate what I do because you have to have an eye for it. Like if you didn't know what Brett and Pepe was and you see Brett, you probably gonna like, oh, that's it. You have to see it and be like, oh, this is hot. and you know it's like hot and it's going to be hot, and then you got to see if it's bundled and all this shit when to enter it, right? But the big part is the meme going to be hot? So I
I think
called yesterday. I called 30x. It was the only runner yesterday. One of the biggest runners. It was the band Elon band guy. I called that at like 10K market cap, 15. It went to like a mil because that's what was hot. The dude got banned. It was so easy to find. It's like, oh, here it is, band guy, and it's the
well, it's
dude.
like, yeah, if you catch the right one, right? Yeah, but yeah.
So what do you
yeah,
do about like
I don't
copycat tokens? Like, because you know when there's a meme that's hot, there's like 20 or 30 that populate. So how do you know about choosing the right one?
It's usually I'm looking for the first one. So that's what I'm saying. I'm already looking for the theme.
Yep.
So when I see the theme pop up, I'm looking for the first one, first or second one.
Yeah, the
Like
only
I
problem with
said,
the
if
first one
you
is usually that dude with the Pepe fucking image, right? It's like, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
So with band guy, there was like one, but it didn't have the Elon face on it. I remember
Yep.
that.
Yep.
It was pumping. It didn't have the Elon face. And then I saw one. It was band guy with the Elon face. I thought
You're
it was
like,
really
that's the one.
funny. I'm like, this is it right here. This is the one. So yeah, like that. Just having an eye for things. But I know other people, they're looking at volume and they're very like mathematical. I think it's good to look at that stuff. I definitely look to see like, is this gonna rug pull to zero? You gotta look at the holders and stuff like that too. But I think the most important thing is it hot? Like, does this slap? Like that slaps. You know what I mean?
And what's your take profit strategy usually? Do you have like a general multiple that you sell at, or are you trading off vibes?
No, it's always. Oh, well, I shouldn't say always because then I'd be lying. But what I try to do always, it's a moon bag. It's second it doubles, you gotta take it out. Sometimes I don't even wait. Sometimes if it's up 30% and it's really risky, I take my initial out immediately because it's Solana. Like the likelihood of you buying something on Solana and going to zero is high. It's very high.
Yeah.
So if you just leave it in there and you leave it up to chance, you're gonna be a lot of the time you're gonna be very sorry. So like if something's really risky, and let's say I put $100 in there, I have 30%. Sometimes I take my 100 out just and leave the $30. Sometimes if it doubles, great. And that's also the benefit of getting in low at 15 at 30K. I could still have $100 in there, one soul or half a whatever, and it's still enough and super early. And you don't want to overbet. I think, okay, so like last year, the problem a lot of these normies did, because they don't understand how this shit works, they were aping low caps. They were putting, yeah, I'm good, I'll get rich. I'm putting 1,000. You don't want to do that. You the exit liquidity. You just gave everyone their 10x. Everyone's gonna sell. So like people are thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna wait till it doubles and it'll be 2,000. I'll take it out. You're not. You just gave everyone $1,000. If there's 20, people are gonna be selling, and it's not a good strategy. So like I learned that from TikTok. People are saying I put 5K in this. So I'm like, whoa, what did you do? You never want to do that. So I do little bets. I try and catch it early so I don't have to put in a lot of money. I try and catch it early so I can put in $20, $50, $100, one soul if I really like it. And as it's higher, let's say I saw something what I consider late for trenches like 800K. But I'm like, yeah, I might put in a soul or two, like more, because it's a higher cap. If the chart looks good, yeah. But you gotta assume with all this stuff, it's going to zero. So I think like for me, what I've like told my Discord is like I moonbag. And then you don't feel bad if you miss it. Because there was times like where I hit the right token, like 2,000, 3,000 extenders, and I sold out of it.
Sure.
And I was so upset, So you don't want to risk being upset, then just moonbag. And then you don't have to worry. And it takes like the anxiety away. And I'm glad I did. So like last year I had bought something early and I moonbagged it. It was that cup C token. It came back from the dead. It's at 6 mil mark. And I had it in my wallet. I'm like, oh, like you don't understand how upset I would have been if I found that last year and sold it and now it's mooning out of nowhere. I would have been really upset. So, but because I moonbagged, I wasn't stressed out about it because I had taken my initial out. So that's why I think like for new people or people aren't used to this stuff, that is the best idea. And look, sometimes you're not going to be able to get your initial out because the project's going to rug within seconds. That's the risk you take when you buy meme coins, you know. That's why I also like little bets, you know, small amounts. But I think that it's safer and better to take your initial out as soon as possible, because whatever you think you're gonna get, you're probably not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if I leave it in, I'll have 20,000. You're probably not gonna even get there. So, you know, it fucks with people and they
So
stay
do
in.
you ever navigate the other launch pads like the Bonk Fun or Launch Labs or
Oh
Boot?
yeah,
You
yeah,
go through
yeah.
all
I'm
these
looking
too?
at everything. I'm like an animal. I'm looking over on when the bonk era, I was bonking around looking at everything on there, you know. It's like the PvP, like the bonk versus the pump. Whatever's gonna be hot. But again, that was hot when that came out. So you had to go there. That's the theme. The theme was bonk tokens. So it's like I always go with the theme. So, and you know, if a new platform comes out, there's a third one. I actually forget what it was. Bloop, something like that.
Boop.
Boop.
Yep.
Yeah, that was hot for a day, so you had to be there. So you have to be able to like,
For literally a day.
yeah, it's short. It's fast term
It is.
trading. You know,
Yep.
that's what it is. It's you're trading collectibles. They have essentially no value. Um, you know, these are very high risk. They're not investments. I hate when people say that. They need to stop because it's not an investment. It's literally you trading collectibles and it's meant to be fun. That's why it's pump.fun. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. And look, if people don't like it, they shouldn't do it. In my opinion, they shouldn't do it because it's not for everybody. You know, some people they like very serious stuff like altcoins and stick to the serious stuff. Stick to, you know,
Bro, are you gonna retire off of the pump airdrop? Are you so ready for this airdrop or what? Is this the most
what is it coming?
anticipated airdrop of all time or what?
Dude, when is it coming?
I don't know, man. Maybe today. It's supposed to be like any day now. Like
So
any day now.
I
Okay,
asked Agent Hustle what are the ultimate meme coin strategies, and so he actually mentioned a handful of Ragzys. The first one's the pre-launch strategy. So he's just saying the most explosive gains come in the first 24 to 48 hours of launch. So you're wanting to buy anything, you know, 48 hours or younger. The smart money identification system, these are basically copy traders, people who are following large whales. Ragzy, do you do that at all? Do you monitor wallets?
Listen, I think it's oversaid and I think it's overdone because it's like here's why I don't really track big wallets. Sometimes I hear people saying, "Yeah, that's a secret tracking the big wallets." The big wallets are wrong a lot of the time. If you've been in this industry, the big wallets are more likely to take more risk and they will get rugged for thousands of dollars on a token. Like they are wrong a lot of the time. And I think like, so I don't really copy trade. No, I've actually had more success not looking at other people's wallets. So because I found more success not doing that, that's why I don't do that. Have I done in the past? Yeah, but it's like they're wrong a lot. I don't know. Have you followed wallets? They're wrong a lot.
I don't.
They're
You know,
not
it's fun.
correct a lot of the time.
When I first got into crypto in 2016, bots were like really popular at the time, and it was the copy bots was like a big thing. So I was buying copy bots to copy trade these different people, and it just blew my account every time. So I stopped using them.
Yep.
Literally never ever worked.
Yeah.
Like
People
ever.
want to copy trade me, and I'm like, you shouldn't because I'm doing the highest. You know, I get rug pulled all the time. Like that's a terrible, terrible idea. You know, and I also change my wallets all the time. But yeah, and that's another thing. If it's a really good whale, they can change their wallet all the time. Then who uses the same wallet? Rookies. You're rookies if you're doing that.
Or people, you know, who their followers or their exit liquidity. I mean, or the other.
Oh yeah, too. Or they know, yeah, you don't know if the wallet's malicious. Maybe they know people are copy trading and they'll ape things, and then once it 2x's, they'll clip out. So it's like, I don't know. It's like if people have found success doing that, do it. My whole thing is like, whatever. If you've been doing something, it's been working for you, and you've been making money on this shit, because most people don't, then don't change your strategy. But if you haven't, then you might want to consider changing your strategy, right? I know you're presenting an AI thing here, right? So that could be something, or you got to change your strategy. So like what I've been doing has been working, so I'm not changing my strategy. But
Yeah, makes
if
sense.
I started, getting my ass handed to me, I'd be like, okay, the game's changed. I gotta. Okay, so for example, I wasn't using a bot. I wasn't using Photon at first. I was just literally swapping on Jupiter, and then the game got tough, and then you had to use a bot. So I had to change my strategy, and that's how I got into Photon and like Meme Scope. Right before I was just using Dextriner and Jupe, and it's like but it's not for me to say anybody has the wrong strategy. So like if somebody isn't looking at themes like me and they're looking at all this analytical stuff you guys just pulled up, like volume and wallets, and that's working for them, then they should stick with that. They shouldn't
Yeah.
change it all, you know?
Yep. Yeah, completely agree. I tried to trade trenches. I've just never really been a short-term trader. I've always been like a moderate to long-term trader. So the AI tool works a little bit better for me because I have a little bit more time to execute. And then setting things with triggers, whether it's a take profit or a stop loss, has always been a little bit more my style, or just a kind of buy and hold until it goes to affinity. But man, dude, there's so many ways to make money through this. So to kind of wrap up Agent Hustle here, we went through all these different strategies, and then he said what we did with our media trade is he identified the sweet spot, analyzed the holder distribution, which was Ragzy's recommendation. We bought with zero point 0.1 SOL, and then he implemented risk management. So we have a 500% take profit, 50% stop loss because we're going to the moon. And then we used our conditional triggers to execute it. So that's just 7 strategies. I mean, there's literally hundreds of different types of strategies, even as Ragzy kind of goes on. Do you go to any of these other chains, or do you try to strictly stay to Solana? Obviously, you found some runners on Base. Right now, Hyperliquid's kind of getting some attention. Did you go dabble over there and see what was there?
Uh, let's just say I am dabbling. Now that you mention it, in the I'm actually dabbling in the hyperliquid now. I'm gonna be the main motherfucker on hyperliquid now. Um, yeah, I've been dabbling there. You could say that, but yeah, it's I go where the money is. So when Tron had a meme season, it was hot for
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Tron had a little season there. Yep.
So I went to Tron, and I was like, ooh, and I thought it was gonna suck. And the first couple days there, I was like, oh, okay, we're like throwing out bangers over here. Okay, so it was hot for its little moment in time. So that's where I went. And then when it was over, I went back to Solana. And Base had its moment in February of 2024 that you could have bought anything. When I say I didn't realize how good I had it, or I would have bought more, because you could have really bought anything on Base in February and it would have went up. Like anything. Everything was sending. And I just thought that was normal. I thought that was going to be the new norm. Had I known, oh no, this is just its moment, I would have bought way more shit, right? So it's like an Avalanche in end of 2023. I was trading memes on Avalanche. I hit their number one meme super early, like on the first day it launched, because nobody was trading memes on Avalanche. So it's like, yeah, I'll go. If I think there's money to be made there, I'll go. The problem is, on Twitter, this is why I don't like to give my opinion too much on Twitter. People are very emotional when it comes to certain chains that I won't mention, where it's like, okay, yeah, that's wonderful. Like one meme worked for you. There's no money there, honey. Like, people are not going to make 100x every day on that chain over there. They're going to be there, but it is possible to hit 100x every day on Solana. I know that's there. And I think when Ethereum starts to run, that's definitely going to be there. You're going to see monster. If ETH gets over 4K, you're going to start seeing monster runners on ETH to 100 mil like every day, right? So it's like I go where I think I can make the most money, the most profit. And Solana usually always, because it's so easy and cheap, like always kind of has something going on. But I've been dabbling in the hyperliquid. I like it.
I support it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I know some traders generally just stick to Solana for the most part, or they kind of explore everything. So that is interesting. I know Adam had a little bit of a meme coin phase for a little while.
Well, my strategy is very, very similar to Ragzy's, which is just like try to see where the puck's going, where kind of sentiment on Twitter is, and move in that direction. And I think one thing, if you use Hustle over the next day or two, one thing you'll be able to see, even obviously you're not going to be trading within the Hustle app, but what you can see is that he can gather a lot of information quickly and filter to give you, like, if you just said, hey, cats, I want to know all the kind of cat means, give me these specific bullet points, it's got to be between a certain market cap and this sort of thing. He'll just be able to pull up from a much wider net than you'd be able to see just from looking at like meme scope. And I think you might get some value from it just that way. Kind of just a broader pull of info.
I mean, I think it's interesting. Did you guys build that? Was that you, Jake?
That built what?
Did you build that bot?
The one that we were just showing you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our project.
That was you?
That's us, yeah. Agent Hustle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clever, and I'll definitely try it, and I'll see like, oh, okay, I could see it working here. You know what I mean? This is the first time seeing it. I'll definitely try it, because anything I think that could help me, like snipe more tokens or whatever you want to call. I don't know if it's technically a snipe, but buy them early. Whatever. I like to call it snipe because it sounds cool. Twitter doesn't like that.
They too late, man. I need it at 15K. Bro.
Yeah, I need it at 15K. I'm spoiled brat. Don't be giving me shit.
Don't tell me about tokens at 30K. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Who the hell are you?
I'm already dumping on your head at 30K, bro.
Exactly.
You know, Ragzy. So it's interesting with like one of the reasons we got into the AI space, or at least one of the reasons why we got specifically into the DeFi AI space, which is that's kind of what it is we looked at all the Telegram bots, like Photon, like BonkBot, like all of these, now Axiom, and you just see all this money that they're printing. It's like insane, the amount of fees that these are generating. And so the idea here is that AI basically takes the Telegram bot business or the Photon type business to the next level, because you can do you can basically apply context to it that, I guess, creates like an output that these other kind of like basic systems can't do, right? Because a bot is just like a 1 and 0. It does what it's supposed to be performed to do, and it doesn't have any kind of wiggle room to go out of bounds and make decisions. The thing is, like, the DeFi or the AI products are not all the way there yet. I would say, maybe 6 months from now, maybe 3 to 6 months from now, you'll probably see a lot of these products have AI in it in some capacity. So that's kind of like where we're going. It's almost there from our standpoint. It definitely, our users that use Agent Hustle, they use them basically for two different things. Some of them use them for trading, which is like finding tokens, buying tokens, setting a stop loss, setting a take profit, or DCing into tokens, doing this automation. The other side of it's purely just to talk to him, to analyze the market. They kind of call him like a pocket analyst. So they actually they don't trade on the platform, but they do use him to find those setups or find alpha. He does have access to other chains as well. And so we kind of see these two areas emerging, and there are other products that are kind of competing in the space. But I would love to hear, your opinion whenever you try it out, to see what kind of edge it could give you, or what things it offers comparative to Photon and some of the other services that gives them the edge, because then that's obviously kind of what we lean into.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely give it a try. I think it's an interesting you built there, little Jake.
Adam, you're on mute.
Right.
I'm muted. Sorry, because my wife was doing dishes, banging here. But my question was, do you hold anything on Solana beyond like just when you're live trading it? Do you hold anything like overnight, or you are out all that day kind of thing?
I moonbag, so it's like sometimes if I see a rug coming or it's bundled, you got to sell out of the token because the game's changed. But usually I hold a lot of things. I hold to 0 because I moonbag. There's no risk.
So that could be a use
strategy.
Yeah.
And you've heard it before, right? Everyone talks about it. Here's why it's funny to me. Everyone talks about it. People have heard this strategy, moonbag, and they don't do it. There's a reason why everyone talks, because you literally you kind of gotta it depends like what your risk tolerance is, right? I have super high risk tolerance. So sometimes I'm crazy, when I don't moonbag like I should, right? And this stuff goes to zero and I lose all my money, right? But I'm comfortable with that. But a lot of people, they're not. So I'd say like the moon bag is the best because like I said, if you put even $50 in something, let's pretend 20, because some people I learned 50 is a lot of money. So say you put $20 in something, now it's 40, you can take your 20 out. Do you really care what happens to that $20? Probably
Honestly,
not.
if you care what happens to $20, you should not be trading me.
That's what I've been, bro. Thank you.
Seriously.
That's what I've been saying. But some of these crazies, there's some crazy people.
Dude, I hear people. I got $200. I'm like, bro, do not go back to work, man. Go back to work.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? You're probably not going to care. You're like, oh, if it goes to zero, fine. You're not going to be like, oh my God, am I going to lose $20? Should I sell it now? You're not going to, there's no anxiety. So you leave it there because you're like, okay, who cares? It's like $20. And you hit a lot of big centers that way because you're not inclined to sell it. Whereas if you let's say you put 2 Solana, that's $300 right now. You might be like, fuck, is this about to run? Am I about to lose? Then you got to think about it. This is why the moon bag is way better because it's with little bets. I do little bets. And I like put this in a course with all this information. I do really little bets. And then I take my initial out as soon as I can. Sometimes you get lucky. It shoots up in 5x right away. Well, then that's beautiful. Then you can even take your initial out and some profit, chop it in half. Then you really don't care. And then you can catch a lot of big centers that way. And it's almost like not worth it to put more in because let's say you put like let's say you're a lunatic and you put $1,000 in a low cap. You are not going to be able to cash out 20 grand at an 800. So there's no point of even doing that unless you're trying to control the token or whatever. But it also spooks the buyers, you see, because there's what you just did. You bots doing the analytics. Other people, they're going to see, oh, there's a whale on a token. Then people aren't going. You killing the momentum. People aren't going to want to buy it anyway. So there's literally like it's so much better just to put, in my experience, to put smaller bets. And you're more likely to catch a big sender because you're less inclined to sell it. Totally. I don't want to think about it. I want to put, oh, okay, I took my $50. I don't have to think about it. And actually, a lot of the times I missed the big senders was because I overbet. And what would you know? Those were the big senders. And it's like, why every time I could have made, 100 grand off this or something crazy, or there would have been 100 grand shown in my wallet. And I sold this. Why? It's because I overbet, because I put 2 Solana in there or something. And I was scared. And then you sell it. Where if I would have just put the small bet, I would have left it there and I would have hit it. So it's like, so this is stuff I've learned like over years, right, of trading. This is not like, so I've kind of built my strategy over time. I definitely think I'm the killer now. Like I really think I'm a beast.
I think you called yourself the best sniper in all of crypto the other day.
I'm a beast.
I'm a in all of crypto. You're the greatest of all time.
I'm the greatest of all time. I love saying that on Twitter too because people get so mad. It's like a video game to me though. Now it's competitive. Okay. I'm like, I'm the best motherfucker here. And they're like, no, you're not. It's great. I love it. But I really feel like I'm a beast now. And that's because I had to learn a lot of hard lessons. And that's how I got so good. So Moonbag, I think is the best strategy. And because then you're not stressed about it. I think you shouldn't do it unless you have extra income, because I don't think people should look at this as an investment. And that's another thing I can't say on Twitter. Oh my God. Don't come for me. It is an investment. It's not an investment. Like, you know what I mean? It's messing around.
Gamble. You're rolling dice.
Yeah. And it's like you're messing around. Sometimes you hit, and sometimes you don't. And it's a fast game. And I love it. I enjoy looking for these things. It's fun. It's like hunting, I guess. It's kind of like hunting on the blockchain. But listen, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I think that's okay. Like if they don't like it, if they're looking for serious investing, well, I honestly think they should do altcoins. I really do. That's for serious stuff. I like the fun bullshit stuff. So I'm gonna be Solana meme coining, trenching all day long till it's not there. And on other chains. But yeah, so that's just what's helped to me. but it took a long time to get this good. You know, sometimes I'll see, because Twitter, there's a lot of crazy people on Twitter. Like, shit, get this. It's like, I've been doing this for years. Have you been doing this for years? Have you been doing this for like 12 hours a day for years? Okay, well, then I'm probably going to be a little better than you at finding shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, people get mad that like it's weird. It's like, okay, well, are you looking for shit for 12 hours a day every single day? Because I am. I'm on the Stairmaster looking for you. You can ask people on Twitter. I'm on the Stairmaster, and I swear, and I'm looking. I'm like out
You're
of
on the
breath,
Stairmaster trenching the whole time.
and I am looking for shit to post.
Wait, do you have like
to
one of those
Discord.
things that where you can hold your little laptop on there, or you're on your phone trenching?
I'm trenching, and so a lot of times they get it. My Discord gets it, and I don't, because I don't trade crypto on my phone. So I'm literally trenching just for the sport to find, like, you know, to find shit. So it's I found a lot of really good runners on the Stairmaster. So I'm like still trenching on the Stairmaster. I'm trenching. I'm grocery shopping, trenching. I am
ABT,
trenching all the time.
always be trenching, man. Always,
ABT.
always. Be
Yeah,
trenching.
always be trenching.
Man,
For real.
that's a lot of fun. I think we'll wrap it up here. Ragzy, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's always great to connect. Hearing your stories and hearing your trading style. Yeah, if you look into Agent Hustle, or even just whenever you're ready to look into AI, whenever you realize the trenches have changed. I think we're still, you know, maybe 6 months away, maybe a year away until it's very evident that AI is doing some sort of automation in the trenches. But it is important for anyone watching to at least try to use these tools for when that day does come, you could be kind of prepared. That's kind of what we're preparing for all of these different types of conditions and stuff. But one final thing, what's your biggest win in the trenches? What's the biggest multiple you've hit?
On Solana,
Yeah.
definitely over 500. Somewhere between 500 to 1,000 that I actually hit or I called, because I called and didn't hold till the end.
Yeah,
a few
the
of them,
biggest one
but
the biggest P&L win in terms of
that I
multiples.
hit
Yeah, that you hit. Yeah.
between 500 and 1,000x.
Ooh, let's go. That's what
I hit
everyone wants.
100x's last week,
Nice.
back to back. I'm destroying everybody out here. They get mad at me. I'm killing everybody. They're mad. Like if I remember, I'll tell you about one that I just off the top of my head was the Kikius Maximus, because I had saw it. This was before Elon and everything. Yeah. I have like a weird vibe where I am always pre-Elon, because I found Dogecoin before Elon as well. I found this meme. I'm like, this is pretty good. This got more. I like saw it. I just thought it was so interesting. I'm like, someone's gonna make a meme coin of this. And I found one on Solana. So I bought it. And nothing happened. It like rug to zero. But I moonbagged, you see. I moonbagged it, and it went rug to zero. I forgot about it. And then Elon at some point last year, as you saw, changed his profile pictures like, I'm Kikius Maximus, kids. And I didn't even know, because this was months before this happened. Wow. And I'm looking at my wallet and I'm like, oh shit, somebody put like a fake token in here. Because that's your initial thought. Sure. You're like, oh, somebody planted this in my.
Dude, that's crazy. I would have thought they would have launched a fresh one, like that they used the original one. That's crazy.
They try, yeah, I guess they tried, but I'm looking, I'm like thinking I'm seeing things. And I go in my Discord and they're going nuts in there. They're like, they're like freaking out. I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, here it went like 600x, something crazy.
That's amazing.
I didn't know he was gonna do that. I just bought it because it was funny. And then they did make new ones, yeah. And then everyone was making them and you know, and stuff. But that was one of the biggest ones. See, if I didn't do the moon bag, I wouldn't have hit it, because it had rug. I bought that like a month in advance and it had rug to zero. So if I was like, oh, forget it, and took my money out, I would have missed it. And I would have been pissed. Like I would have been really upset, right? So that's why I like the moon bag, because things can come back from the dead if they have like some relevance. So yeah.
Very cool.
I absolutely love it. Well, I appreciate everyone. This is a good stream. 800 people in and out in an hour and a half. We absolutely crushed it. Everyone loves Ragzy. We'll have to join your Discord to see what kind of chaos is going in there. But everyone that's been watching, check out Agent Hustle. agenthustle.ai is the website. Agent Hustle AI is the Twitter account as well. Make sure you follow Ragzy. You give us a follow or reach out anytime, whether you're in the trenches or you're just bored and want to do something with AI. You know who to reach out to. Until next time, we will see you guys.